Is everybody having a pretty good week so far? Figured I'd hop on and do a live tonight. See how everybody's doing, kind of check in. See how it's going. Do have some good news though. All our gas stations are starting to get cheaper on our fuel. So hopefully gas prices continue to go down. Hey Wilder, how you doing, man? I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Could always be worse, so. Just I'm not doing much right now. Hey Alex, how you doing? You guys having a pretty good week so far? Hey Fisher, how you doing? Appreciate you guys hopping on here. That's good, Alex. I've been meaning to kind of start scheduling my lives so people can kind of know what I'm going to do and be ready for it. But I always think I'm going to do it live, and then I get a little busy, and then I finally get to doing it. So I'm doing pretty good. It's been a pretty good week so far. Ain't a whole lot going on, just work. Been working on my new platform, trying to get new things done with it. Hey, Deer Slayer, how you doing? So is anybody catching any beaver? I'm doing good. Ain't had a whole lot going on, just working. Was Deer Slayer live? Setting traps back tomorrow. Have not put any beaver traps out yet. What time? How long did your beaver season go? I know a lot of states end this month at the end of the month. Like here in Missouri, we only got let's say the 16th, so about 2.5 weeks left. So today was kind of a crazy day. We had to go to the DMV to get my new license. DMV is always a fun place to go. Not really. I can think of a few places I'd rather go than the DMV. Yeah. So I don't have a whole lot going on, so I figured I'd go live and kind of see how everybody's doing, how everybody's week's going. Beaver season don't end there. Do you trap them all summer? Mm. Luckily, we just got to do our license, and it don't take near as long as tags and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not too sure I would want to be waiting out in the water when it's 100 outside trying to put beaver sets out. I'm not too much of a digging little holes with the snakes kind of guy. Hey, Mark J, how you doing? Not yet. Hopefully soon. We've been dealing with the neighbor's dogs. And she told me that she'd been seeing a lot of the coyotes in her front yard, and so that's kind of where I was focusing. And I knew better in the back of my mind, not to do it because she has, oh, I'd say probably a 3 acre field behind her with, she has odds and ends and old vehicles and stuff in the field. So I knew that that's where I should be, but she's like, I see him in my front yard all the time, a couple times a week at least. I was like, all right. So I put a lot of my traps out in her front yard along the fence line and stuff, and we went with that for about a week and a half. And I was like, you know what, I knew better than the set in the front yard. I knew the backyard is where I needed to be, so I kind of pulled all the traps and moved them back there. So uh, I think I did that on Monday. So hopefully we'll start getting something. I know um, I think we've been having some fuller moons, so we'll see how that affects it. But now that I've got all my traps moved back where I'm a lot more confident in the location, I think we'll be doing a lot better. So I'm not sure exactly the number of animals she's wanting to try to remove. I know she said she's been seeing a couple coyotes and a bobcat, so that might be all we try to go after. I'm not too sure. Whatever she feels comfortable with. We've already got one coyote off there. It's a pretty decent sized coyote. But is everybody else having a pretty good week? Anybody have anything big planned for the rest of the week? I know our gas is starting to go down quite a bit here. One of the gas stations went down about 20 cents, and then our Walmart went down 5 cents. What's my best lure? I wouldn't say I have a best one. I mean, like, what do you want to target mostly? Like, um, it really depends on what you like to use. Um, Nothing big planned for a while. Yeah. My Trapper's Gold is a great lure in like cold months. If you like skunky lure, because it's pure skunk. It does really well, like in the colder weather, to use up high. Uh, my Predator 360, it's an all gland lure, so it does really well. Like I'd say, like in the February months. something like that. You know, when we're starting to get out of the winter and the breeding season's really starting to get in. So I'd say Predator 360 there with urine. Right now, urine is great to use because they're in the breeding season and stuff like that. So, and then if you're talking earlier season, like say September, October, November, my Highway 90. It's like a curiosity lure, a food lure. I mean, it's a lot of different things. It's got a little skunk in there, but it smells a lot like a smells like bloody meat kind of. That makes sense. But then it's got skunk. It's a long call lure, but it's a curious one, definitely. And then I have a my newest one, the Kryptonite, is kind of a all-in-one lure and all-season lure. Uh, it's got glands, it's got urine, castor, it's got a whole lot of stuff in it. I did really, really, really well with it. The last week and a half of season, I decided that's all I was going to use to finish the season off, and I ended up with the last week and a half of season. I ended with 2 fox and 11 coyotes, and all I used was that lure. So, and I mean, you can use it instead of having a bait, a lure, and then putting urine down. You can just use it because it has everything you need. Or you can also just use it with a bait because I've done that and I had success both ways. You have a video coming out tomorrow for the easiest way to retrieve wolf fang anchors. Awesome. You got those? 360 and 90? Yeah. Say the Trapper's Gold, it's an all skunk. Also, you can try like the Blakely's Beaver Lure. It does well on coyotes. It's with the castor. Castor does well with coyotes. Also, if you're wanting to like run a scent post set, I have my coon syrup. I have a smoke one that would do really well with scent post. Basically, you just take like a stick or whatever you want, put it in the ground, put some urine, then you can take a little bit of that smoke and just put a drop or two on top of your stick, and that would do really well. It all depends on, you know, your style, what you like to use. Uh, I know some people like to use only gland lure, some people don't like to use gland lure at all. Some people don't even use lure, so it has a lot to do with your style, not only your not only the animal you're targeting mostly, or your location or area that you're at. I mean, a lot of things come into play, I guess you could say. They all have their place. The shirt, I can do that. I can do that. It says trapping. It's like fishing, but for men. I have them on my website if you want to see actually be able to see the shirt. It's just trapping. It's like fishing, but for men, and it's got the trap. The trap is gray. Okay. It's this shirt is definitely my number one selling shirt. I can tell you that. No problem. Oh, you're good, Mr. Somebody. I ain't screwed up the phone. Say, I said, there's really not a best lure or bait or anything when it comes to really anything. Like I tell people, use what you like because the the style of people's trapping is varies from person to person, and everybody has what they like and don't like. No problem. So, said I've had people that only want gland lure. That's all they want. They don't really care whose it is or what it is. They just want gland lure, and that's all they want. And that's all they will use. They won't even try anything else, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's just the way some people are. I know some people that won't use anything with skunk in it. Period. They won't even touch it because they swear that where they trap it don't work, and that could very well be true. But so it's hard to tell you, hey, get this. This is going to work for you because if you're somebody that mostly uses gland lure and that's what you have success with and that's what you've always done well with, and I say, hey, try the Trapper's Gold, and you get it and it's all skunk and you don't do very well with it because it's not what you've ever used, that could turn you off on, my name, my brand in general. So, and I don't know. It's like I tell it, but there's really no best lure or bait or best brand of bait. Uh, if you're going to talk about early season, I also have my Yote butter. Uh, it does it does well. It's kind of like I don't know. I would say it's kind of like an early season and late season, if that makes sense. So, I would say more of like October and March kind of thing, February, March, um, kind of lure. All right, Fisher, no problem. You have a good night, man. So you guys feel free to ask me any questions. I'll answer to the best of my knowledge. I do know me and my wife is trying really hard to get some money set aside to pay for fuel so we can go to NTA. Uh, she's started watching some kids, some people that go to our church. Uh, his brother has 4 kids, and she's been watching them. So hopefully, with that, we can get some money saved up to take with us to cover fuel. So um, if that happens, then we'll actually, be able to go. I really hope to go. I'd like to go, but with the way fuel prices were looking, it didn't really look like we was gonna go. But now I'm hearing that fuel is supposed to start dropping, about May. So my favorite Yote trap. Oh, I've been through this a few times. There's my favorite that I've used. There's a few that I have not got to use yet that I want to use. Hey, Jeep fam. Leaving for Michigan on Wednesday. Awesome, man. No problem. I appreciate you stopping by. I don't know why I say anything. Oh well. So we gotta start getting ready. Yeah. But anyway, back to your question, dear Slayer. There's a few traps that I haven't got to try yet that I want to try, like the K9 Extreme and the Extreme Junior. I really want to try those traps. But from the ones I have tried, I really, I like the Bridger Douglas traps, the uh, fully modified ones. I really like those traps. The Duke #2 Douglas is a great trap. But I've really became to like the Duke 650, the Pro Series Duke 650 4 coil. I mean, that's probably my number one trap now, especially for the price of them. If money wasn't an option, from what I have used, the Alpha trap is phenomenal. Uh, I caught a lot of coyotes in that trap. Uh, it was, roughed up pretty hard. I didn't treat it very well to kind of see how it would go, and I mean, it stood up very well. Never lost pan tension, nothing bent, everything set straight and level, easy to set. So I'd say the Alpha would probably be my number one trap if I was not worried about the cost of them because they are pricey. $280 a dozen for the Alpha trap. Hey Billingsley, how you doing? Yeah, Bridger #2 modified. They're good traps. I'm actually starting to really like the Duke 650, and I think that's gonna kind of be the route that I'm gonna go from now on. Doing pretty good. Hey Scab, how you doing? I seen you live earlier. I didn't get to see that, man. We was at the DMV and all kinds of stuff today. DMV, the fun stuff. Hey Country Roads, how you doing, Jamie? We let this play, so I'll be listening, but we'll basically be passing out. You're good, Jeep fam. I get it. Listening to me talk can be a great way to fall asleep. It's going good. It's going good. 35 beaver sets in the day. That's awesome. To show some young bucks how to hoop a beaver. Did it go well? Did you have any incidental accidents on your live? I know sometimes doing that stuff on a live can be very nerve-wracking because it's like, I've done the last 30 without a problem, but now that I'm going to try to do this on video or live, everything's going to go wrong. That's usually how it goes for me. My next threshold for subscribers. Yeah, I did reach 500. I think 502 last time I looked. So that's awesome. I think new any new like YouTuber or anybody that has a channel, their goal kind of is the 1,000 mark because that's just that's kind of what YouTube puts on you is to have 1,000. But I don't really care. 1,000 would be awesome. But I'm happy if there's 3 people. If I do a live here and there's 2 or 3 people to hop on, I'm happy. It don't matter to me. I don't need 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 people on here. That's not what I need. I like actually being able to connect with everybody and get to their questions and what they say and stuff like that. When you have a whole lot of people on there, it's hard to keep up. You kind of got to give everybody like a 2 or 3 word answer. So, I don't know. I'm not one of those ones that's going to shoot for, 5, 10, 15, 20,000 subscribers. That's not my goal. My goal is to not get as many subscribers as I can. My goal is to help as many people as I can. Not only can I post videos for people to watch and get any kind of information that they may need or that they could get from me, but it's a great way for me to have my videos available for if anybody asks me a question. Hey, I have a question about this. I can be like, oh, hey, I got a perfect video. I got a 11, 12-minute video that, will answer your question perfectly. And I can just say, watch this video and you can learn whatever you need. So it also does really well in that aspect of it. So, I mean, like I said, 1,000 subscribers would be great, but that's not really my goal. I'm not on here just for subscribers, if that makes sense. Thanks for the pointers. Not near what I wanted to set today. Yeah, there's always time. Always time. It's better to get 35 in than none. That's for sure. That's awesome, Scab. Thank you, Internet Venom. I appreciate it. Next threshold is 175. Yeah, I can definitely tell you. My biggest thing, like everybody, had a couple people ask me, how come my YouTube slowed down. Um, right now, I'm kind of in the time where I don't have much to do as far as filming for YouTube. I took the trapping season off, so I don't say I took it off, but I did a lot of prep as far as the business goes before trapping season, so when season got here, I could spend the time I needed trapping. So when trapping season did end, I had a whole bunch of stuff I had to catch up on. And it's like, I told people, I don't think people want to see videos of me packing boxes, doing computer work, organizing the shop. People don't want to see that. And that's kind of what I've been doing recently. You're good, Ben. I appreciate you hopping on. You're on a trip? Where are you going? Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, it's cool watching people on live videos, but yeah, when they get to where they have that many on there, and I mean, I don't know. It's you never really can ask the person a question. Does that make sense? Because when you comment, by the time your comment actually uploads, there's already been 15 or 20 more comments. So when it uploads, it's already past what they can see. If that makes sense. Some of the late night lives on TikTok, yeah, I have. Yeah, and that's kind of my thing. It would be cool if 50 or 60 people got to see my lives that I could interact with here. Um, Even if I did like a 2 or 3 hour live and it was 20 people at a time, that just kind of shuffled in and we could talk and stuff like that. That would be awesome. Like Trapper J, he's got a lot of his videos. There's around 200 people at least watching. Granted, you probably only got 40 or 50 of those people that are actually commenting, but that goes fast. When you got 60 seconds in a minute and you're getting 15, 20 comments every minute, it's hard to keep up with that. I've had times on like my TikTok lives, I've had times where I've had 150 people on there, and a lot of times it's hard to get to the comments. Like you can read them, but you don't have time to react to it or give an answer to it. So it's that makes it hard sometimes. Yeah, you're saying definitely. That's what I said. You can get more of a connection with people this way. Like you can actually learn about people. If that makes sense. Billingsley, I was gonna tell you. Actually, me and my wife have been talking, and we're going to be trying to save a little money here and there, to have money for fuel to go to the NTA. Uh, we're also where is it? Here, there it is. We go to the FTA. This is the contract to go to the FTA. It's the first time I've ever had anybody mail me a contract to fill out for a convention, but that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot of weird stipulations in there, if you ask me. But we're gonna start trying to save money for fuel. So we should be there. My wife actually started watching some kids, so hopefully we can save most of that money and have some gas money so we can go. So, uh, now it is looking like we'll more than likely be there as long as, if gas gets to $6 a gallon, like some people have been saying, then I don't know. But as long as it don't get over five, I think we will more than likely be there. Because I can't really afford to drop $1,000 in fuel. 200 plus people in my TikTok lives the last couple of days, but nobody talks. Yeah, it's hard on TikTok. It can be weird. Sometimes you can have five people watching your live, and they're commenting like crazy, and you can't keep up. And the next time you'll have 150, and nobody's talking. They're just like staring at you or something. I don't know. I don't know. People really have to do the same thing. Yeah, it was crazy. Because my plan was I was gonna get a couple tables like at the NTA and the FTA, and if Trapper J was able to make it, he was going to just sit with me in my booth pretty much, and kind of sell his stuff out of my booth. Well, apparently you can't do that. Uh, they practically said that if you tried to do that or got caught doing that, you'd basically be told to leave. So that ain't happening. So I kind of got to let him know that. The size live stream is great. It's like a group of friends talking trap. J Live's also awesome, but it's more like a party. Yeah, that's the thing about it. There's a difference. Like when it comes to Trapper J, like there's the few people that he's really gonna look out for their names and read their comments and comment back and stuff like that. But for the people that say that just follow Trapper J today, and maybe they watch a live that he does this weekend, he's probably a lot less likely to see their name and read it because it doesn't, when you're staring at your phone and you see comment, 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 well, if he sees a name that he knows, that's automatically going to catch his eye. He's going to read it real quick. And then if he wants to respond, he will. If he doesn't, he won't. So, if it's a new person that just subscribed that says, wants to ask a simple question or whatever, he's a lot less likely to see that. So, in that aspect, it is a lot harder uh, to do. As if, he just pops on, and if he sees my name or he sees Internet Vet's name or, whatever, those names he knows them. So as soon as he sees them, he's like, reads it. I can talk to myself, but eventually I'm going to get bored. Shit, fam, yeah. And I've had a few TikToks like that. It's like, alright, guys, I appreciate you getting on here, but I'm going to have to get off. If it goes to 6, I ain't going either, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's gotten ridiculous. I read a thing a while back that they're talking about they might be able to lower the cost of fuel, but they'll have to basically like limit the amount of fuel you can buy. I know I heard some people talking like back in the, I don't know, 70s or 80s. They did that once, where you can only. Uh, we was talking like back in the 70s. It might have been the 80s, I think. That like there was something on your license plate. If your license plate ended with an even number, you could get gas on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If your license plate ended in an odd number, you could get gas on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and stuff like that. So, I don't know. We'll see if something like that happens or not. Best conversations you ever had? Yeah. Head north on Wednesday, yeah. The weather should be a little cooler in Michigan. Yeah. Yeah, I've been on a lot of lives with OJ. He's sitting there dreading. Yeah. Yeah, he gets, Internet Vet won't super chat him for like 15 minutes. He's like, Internet Vet, I wonder where he went. He got old and went to bed. $10. Take a shot, dumbass. And he's like, oh crap. Hey, Otter Cat, how you doing? Which one's a bunch of us running the bus and driving across the Facebook? Yeah, I've thought about that, but there's really not anybody that lives even kind of close to me. Pretty much anybody that I could possibly like carpool with, I would have to go 3 4 hours out of the way. So it wouldn't really save me a whole lot of money if I did that. Get some Honda Civics and some spoon engines and go. Cheap fam, yeah. I seen a meme that said, I'm gonna start using the cherry flavored diesel because the lemon flavored diesel is getting too much. It was the 70s. There's an actual fuel shortage. I guess was rationed. Yeah. Say I've heard from a couple people. They think that that's about to happen again. What was this? Talking about the first lady. I appreciate you guys hopping on here and chatting with me tonight. So I didn't have much going on, so I figured I'd hop on here and kind of see how everybody's doing and what all's going on. What are you guys talking about? It's like out of the blue you start arguing about vehicles. I don't know, the other night you guys were going and I didn't have a clue what you were doing, and then it kind of made me just look stupid. Unexpected. Yeah, when he goes up there, we should get at least 3 lives a week. Oh, he said he got 35 sets out today. Yeah, I'm actually doing right now. How many? Two. I think I just got 2 giveaways going right now. One is on YouTube. When I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away a dozen Duke 650s. And I've told a couple people because they're like, well, I can't use those. Well, if you don't want the 650s, can't use them, I will trade them out for the Duke 550s. Also, I'm doing a giveaway on Facebook. When I reach 4,000 followers on Facebook, we're going to give away a dozen Duke number 2 dogless traps. Chicken. Next fall? I thought it was this fall. Yeah. Um, I'm when this is an idea that I've had, so I don't know how many of you. I know a couple of you are on my new platform, but whenever I get it built up enough, I'm going to start doing a. Well, first off, I have an option on there where you can become a moderator, and basically to become the moderator, it's like a monthly donation subscription type thing to help cover the cost of the platform to keep it up. And basically, when you become a moderator, you have more options of things you can do on the platform. And what I'm going to do is every month, all the moderators that are subscribed or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to have a giveaway for them every month. Of course, this won't start until I built the platform up a little bit. If I have 2 moderators, it's going to be like, well, who's going to get it? 50-50, I mean, I'm gonna get it built up a little bit before I get to doing that, but something following both. I appreciate it. I mean, it's greatly appreciated. Instagram, I don't really do a whole lot on Instagram. I think Instagram's kind of a useless platform, if you ask me.
I think their tires going
Think what?
out. The dryer's going out.
I don't know. Go kick it. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Haven't figured it out yet. Internet vet. Don't wish upon that evil on Mark J. I think you meant to put at least 1 0 behind that. Haven't figured it out yet. Um, yeah, I know. I am still trying to figure it out, and I spend a lot of time on the new platform. I did just get my own domain, my own website for it. So now when you type in the website, it'll actually pull up the page and everything. Uh, I know you can copy the link. Actually, I don't. Now that you're like a moderator, I'm not exactly how it looks on your end, but I know when I go to invite, it'll have the first option where you can send it to them by email. But if you scroll past that, you can copy the link, and then you can just send people that link. So you just hit copy, and it'll automatically copy it. Then you can just paste it into a Facebook message, a text message, email, whatever you want it to be. The domain is sportsman-connection.com. I'll try to get Pops to make some of his chili. Scab, when's this? I don't remember getting that invite. Bring me beaver meat? I'm setting in my domain. Otter cat. You want a whole beaver or back straps for it? Alright, Billingsley, I appreciate you helping on, man. I hope you get a lot set, and I hope out of the 35 you put today, you got about 5 beaver or more. Loyalty is royalty. Goodness. I ain't gonna be able to make it to PA. That's just a little bit too out of the way. Is it peanut butter? What caramel? Don't you have caramel sauce?
I don't like my coffee powder.
It's the same thing.
I want peanut butter.
You don't even like peanut butter.
Well, I'm craving it.
Oh, God. My elbow is messed up. No. Entire thing would be great, but if it's just back straps, that would. You heard him. You heard him, Scab. He wants the entire thing. He also said if you bring him an otter, he'll cook it. He also said if you bring him a possum, that he would cook it. He said he will not be the first one to try it, but he'll cook it.
What are you talking about?
Jeep fan.
Is he on?
He's on here. Commenting. I appreciate that, Internet Vet. And so yeah, if you go to the platform, when it's where it says invite and you can type in their email, you should be able to just scroll past that and it'll have an option to copy link. And next speaker right there will be good in person. Scab, it's Jeep fam. He'll probably want most of the guts. Are you gonna eat a possum?
That works.
Even if it's a roadkill that's been, there for 3 or 4 days? What about what?
I feel like that works.
Yeah. Hey, Jeep fam, I know you said you'll cook anything, Will your wife try anything that you cook? Otter season is closed. Hey, what they don't know don't hurt. Just tell them it's a new kind of chicken. Most of them will believe it. You guys should never scroll down to the bottom. Yeah. Say I'm still learning stuff. Huh. I've spent lots of time on it trying to figure it out. And I'm still learning stuff. I have a few ideas of things that I want to do. Uh, One of the ideas I have is basically I want to create. It's going to kind of not. What is it? A course, I think, is what it'll be called. But I want to have where I'm going to have people come on and do like a 60 to 90-minute live video uh, where they can come show, basically like a demo that you would see at a convention or something. There'd basically be a demo about them talking about maybe coyotes or beaver, bobcat, whatever, fur handling, trap prep, maybe just some Q&As, stuff like that, where there would be live videos of this person doing it, but there would also be like tickets sold to it, if you know what I mean, because the way that it is set up on the platform is there can only be so many people watching at one time. So there would be like tickets for the live, and the first, however many people to get tickets would be the ones allowed to come watch the live and do a Q&A. So say if there's a 90-minute video or live and they do 45-minute um, demonstration or whatever, and then 45-minute Q&A. And this could be, anybody. Like, I haven't really tried to get too many people. I haven't talked to very many people about it because at this point I'm still trying to build it up. But I want it. I want a way to become where people can not only share pictures, stories, knowledge, and stuff like that, where they can come learn. They can come have more of like a one-on-one, uh, yeah, kind of like a coach or relationship kind of thing with somebody. And basically, this is also going to come back to a way to help pay for the platform and to, you know, give the person that's going to be doing the live a little bit, kind of a thank you for doing it. She's everything to cook, and she doesn't care if I tell her what if she will try a couple bites.
That must be nice.
So, have you ever cooked like any insects, like salted ants? Like I said, the platform is not a very cheap thing to have. To a lot of people, it probably is, but to me, not really. And it's kind of one of those things. The bigger it gets, the more it costs. So, yeah. And anything that I want to add to the platform also costs. There'll be lots of free things for young trappers. I can tell you that right now. Like I said, to join the platform and to use the platform is absolutely free. Anybody can do it. Granted, they are going to kind of be selective. Like, I'm not just going to absolutely let anybody join that wants to, because I'm not trying to start a Facebook, if that makes sense. But anybody that's, outdoorsy can join. It doesn't matter if they like to hunt, trap, fish, or they like to, or if they're just a farmer, or if they like to do gardening, or whatever. I want anybody that likes the outdoors to join. Feel free to join. I encourage them all to join. Because, you can learn so much from people that you don't expect to learn much from, if that makes sense. The person you think that you could not really learn anything from is probably somebody you can learn a ton from. So, I encourage pretty much anybody that likes outdoors to join. Uh, and there's really not a age uh, restriction on it, as far as I'm concerned. I haven't read anything on it that says you have to be a certain age to join. I know there's already a few people that are on there that are, teenagers, so I don't know if they were allowed to join at their age or if they just lied about it. I don't really know. I don't really care, honestly. But, yeah, there's going to be lots of things that are going to come about. Right now, we're kind of just in the beginning stages of it. Jeep fam, I have a place close to me that sells a bunch of weird stuff. If you want some of that stuff, I can check it out, see what they have, and I can send you some stuff. So the pic you posted of the fishing poles, it was just your heavy tackle. That's crazy. Yeah, I have four tackle boxes. I mean, packed. I have two of them. They're tackle bags. They have the four flats in it, and then they have pockets all the way around. I have two of those that are plumb packed, and then I have two hard tackle boxes that open up and have like a dozen trays. They're all packed. And then I have, I think, two or three catfish poles, and a couple my just regular creek poles. I'm really hoping to get more fishing in this year. We didn't get to go fishing at all last year. Of course, our daughter last year was super young. We didn't want to take her down to the creek and be in the sun all day. So, all right, Mark J, I appreciate you hopping on here. You have a good night, man. Have a good week. You're only 15? That's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome that you're only 15, but uh, say I'm gonna have lots of different things. Let's say, not everything's going to be paid for because, like I said, the platform itself and the ability to use it is completely free. Anybody can join. Uh, it's just I'm trying to think of ways that I can, kind of get the money to pay for it, where I'm not out of pocket paying for this thing every month. Then again, I don't want to, do a lot of advertising because I don't want people to get on the platform and it be like Facebook or something where, every third post you see is an advertisement. Or if you click on a video or something, it's just advertisement after. I don't want that, But then again, I don't want to be paying out of pocket every month for it. 42 tackle boxes, yeah. And see, the thing about it is I don't even fish that much. When I closed my outdoor store, I just kept a bunch of stuff. Uh, there's a bunch of stuff. It's like, I love using these, so instead of selling them half off or whatever, I'm just gonna keep them all. I need to get some new tackle. I'm pretty sure too. My rod's broke. Yeah, I'm gonna get into selling tackle. I sell some fishing baits now. Uh, I'm gonna get into selling more. The problem is I've spent so much time pushing the trapping side of it that there's not a whole lot of fishing people. So I don't want to, put a ton of money in fishing inventory when I don't really have that uh, demographic of people following me yet. Never have said sell signaling fish. Yeah, I'm addicted to fishing sales. Yeah. Well, you'd have liked me because in my outdoor store I had be like a bargain slash clearance bin. Basically, I had a rubber cattle trough, and I kept it by the front door, and it was always plumb full of clearance and bargain stuff. Whether it was hunting stuff, it was usually fishing stuff, but it was always plumb full of stuff, and a lot of that stuff was 50 to 75% off, and a lot of times I would buy stuff that was on clearance, like through the dealer price. They would have on clearance like Sometimes they would have, buy three, get one free. Well, when I did that, I would buy like 30 of them and just put them all in the clearance bin, 20% off or something. Mainly do salt water, so that will have what I need. Yeah, I don't really have. I don't live close to salt water. Most of the stuff I'm gonna have is gonna be for crappie, bass, stuff like that.
Rivers and lakes.
Yeah, rivers and lakes, pretty much. Um, Saltwater might be a thing I get into later on. I used to have a few saltwater things because I did sell stuff online before, but uh, I don't know. Fishing's one of those things. As a dealer, you can dump a lot of money into it real quick. So, and it's like I told people, fishing stuff is kind of hard to make money on because yes, there is uh, a good amount of money to be made on it. I guess you could say. And as in trapping, there's not a huge room for me to make profit on it. But on fishing stuff, there is. The problem with it is most fishing stuff is $2 or $3. So yeah, the percentage that I'm making is better, but it's like 80 cents. So you have to sell a ton of 80-cent profit things to really make anything. If that makes sense. Life new polls, you're knowing that I don't need them. Life hates when I buy new house. That's what I need. Yeah. Um, Swamp water. 2000 stuff out. Yeah. I don't know. There's people here that have tons and tons and tons of money wrapped up into fishing. Because where I'm at, there's a bunch of lakes close to me, and there's a lot of bass fishers and a lot of crappie fishers. And a lot of those crappie fishers, they'll have 6 or 7 crappie poles going at a time, and they'll be $150, $200 rods, and they'll have 6 of them sitting at the end of the boat. Uh, and each one has you know between the bait and the sinker and everything else they have on it might have $7 or $8. So times six, there's a lot of money that is sitting right there. Trapping is really an addiction. Trapping is definitely my addiction for sure. Hey Seymour, how you doing? Having a pretty good day, pretty good week. Okay. You want this out? Cool. The Kuma bite and run wheels, yeah. I found a pole that I like. It's a Cheapo Depot is what I call it, but it's from Walmart. It's a Zepco. I can't really remember what it is, but the reel is amazing. Um, I don't, I can't remember what it is. I know I bought one and I used it, and it was like awesome. And I bought 2 more after that. So compared to a lot of fishing people, it's probably definitely a cheapo depot, but I think it was like $35. But the reel on it is awesome. Um, I can definitely cast farther and smoother with it than anything I've ever used. It's a flipper reel, but I'd say I could probably easily throw 60 yards with it. The Bass Pro Series heavy rods for catfish. Yeah, I bought a catfish pole at Walmart. I bought a lot of stuff at Walmart. I'm a cheapo guy, but I definitely buy like the better that Walmart has, not the best brand and not most expensive one because that's what most people do. I actually mess with the reel and see. I like having the smooth loose reel. That's what I go for. We put some ice and that in it.
Get it.
Huh? Oh, good more. Give me what one? I'm good. Ugly sticks, yeah. You say I don't use ugly stick. My brother bought an ugly stick once, and he used it like twice, and it broke. All right, no problem, dear Slayer. I appreciate you hopping on here. You have a good night, man. But yeah, the rod I bought, it's orange and it's a Zepco. I don't really remember like what model number it is and everything. But I know the rod is super flexible. The reel is like super smooth and loose. I'm hoping I get to do more fishing this year.
Conventions.
Not broke one yet. Yeah. Say most of my fishing is in creeks. So I'm not. I don't know. Most of mine is bank fishing at a creek. That's like 98 or 99% of my fishing. I haven't fished at a lake in probably since 2012. So,
10 years.
yeah, decade. And I do like fishing at the lake. There's definitely a lot bigger fish to go after. But I don't really fish, for the meat either. I just fish for the fun of it, catch and release, all that. Of course, my brother, I usually fish with my brother. My brother, he don't like fish at all. My wife don't really like it, so. Now, if I could go to a lake and catch a bunch of crappie, that would be cool. 3 ugly sticks, yeah. Say that's my brother, his ugly stick. He just used it a couple times and it broke. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was, but I remember he was like, he'd been wanting to buy one for a while, but they were like $80, and he's like, I don't want to spend $80 on a fishing pole to go fishing, 3 times a year. And I was like, I get it. And he finally bought one, and we used it, and he liked it, and then we went a couple weeks later, went to go fishing, and he used it, and like halfway through the day, it broke. I don't even remember how it broke. I just remember it broke.
Boy, it's kids.
Fished the rivers or some ponds. Yeah. No, they did break one of my poles, that orange pole. That's why I had to go buy another one. No, I think Megan actually broke it. But Daniel definitely shortened life on all of them. And then there's a fishing company that's somewhat local to me. He makes plastic baits and he makes his own jig heads and stuff like that. But it's called Motivated Fishing, and I sell a lot of his plastics on my website. And there's actually 2 colors on there that are my custom colors, Blakely's custom colors. There's a rainbow, and then there's a copper. I fished bass tournaments for several years. To what tournament do you want? Yeah, I have I have a friend of mine. I say a good friend. I don't really get to talk to him a whole lot anymore. I used to talk to him all the time, but his name's Harvey Horn. Um, he fishes on the Bass Pro Elite Series. He won it 3 years ago. I want to say three. I might be wrong, but I think it was 3 years ago. I want to say it was 2019. So yeah, 3 years ago, he won the Bass Pro Elite Series. Um, and then I have another one of my really good friends that actually trap his property, but he does really well in fish tournaments, and he used to get he used to get all kinds of stuff from fishing. He's had a free truck before. He got a free truck fishing. He's got a free bass boat before. All kinds of stuff from fishing and tournaments. But that's what he said. There was times that they would be up uh, for 48 hours some weekends fishing. I remember he came to my outdoor store one time and he looked like he was about to die. It was like 9 in the morning. He's like, yeah, he's like, we was out fishing and then drove home. He's like, I haven't been to bed since, he's like, I woke up at 5 o'clock yesterday morning. Haven't been to bed. And he was like about to pass out. I was like, but was it fun? He's like, oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. But he's kind of slowed down on that now. Well, he told me, was it earlier this year? He bought a Ford. I said, you went back to a Ford? He's like, yeah. He's like, this is the first truck I've had to buy in like 8 years. I just started laughing. Then I have another one of my friends that does a lot of tournament fishing in the Crappie Master series. It's like a team competition for striped bass. Yeah. See the creeks that we have. There's a lot of smallmouth and rock bass in them. I do remember we went to the lake one time and fished white bass, and that was fun. We went like twice, and we'd catch a few here and there, not a whole lot. And then we went one day, and I mean, we just like nailed the school. And I mean, we couldn't throw our hook out there without catching a white bass. And then I caught one. It was like I caught like two white bass, and I threw it out there, and I started reeling it in, and something hit, and I yanked, and I was like, oh man, I was like, that's huge. I started reeling in. I was pulling it, and I told my friend, I said, man, I don't know what I have. I said, but it's way bigger than anything we've been catching. He's like, oh, you probably got a largemouth on there. He's like, it's probably a big one. And I start reeling it in. I was like, man, I said, it's not coming to the top of the water or jumping out or anything. He's like, yeah, that's kind of weird. And I'm reeling it, and I'm just pulling it. I'm reeling, I'm pulling, I'm reeling. I'm like, it's definitely bigger than the white basses we've been catching. Well, it gets, about 25, 30 yards from the bank because we was fishing off the bank. And I was like, it's a catfish, I think. He looked. He's like, yeah, that's a blue cat. And I reeled it in, and yeah, it was a blue cat. I mean, it was 3 foot, 3 foot long, probably. Hey, are you from eastern Nebraska? I am not. I am from southwest Missouri. Uh, the only time I've ever been to Nebraska was the trapping convention last year. I was set up at the trapping convention, but that was more or less on the western side of Nebraska. See, our rivers here, we mostly have smallmouth bass and rock bass, and then we have like goggle eye, perch, and that's really the gist of it. Some sunfish, but most of it's perch, goggle eye, smallmouth, and rock bass. Few largemouth. My brother did catch pretty big largemouth last time we went. Uh, we haven't caught really hardly any largemouth in the creek, but he caught one that was from the tip of his middle finger to his elbow. It was like, I don't know, I think we were guessing around 22 to 24 inches. Hey, Fisher, he's back again. Cole, are you from Nebraska? So nobody's got anything interesting going on this week? You live in Colorado? Awesome. Biggest largemouth was little 5 pound, 24 inches. That's awesome. Did you get it mounted? So what moved you to Colorado? A black sea bass in Alaska? Alaska? That'd be awesome. You're changing little bearings. That sounds like fun. I think, Ottercat, I think you might have the most interesting thing going on this week. No, but you have one mounted? I'm about to go and trap some property. That's awesome. What state are you in, Wild Arrow? I have to combat a bike race this weekend when I'm checking traps, but that's about it. Combat a bike race? What do you mean, combat a bike race? When you're checking traps? Alright, Wild Arrow. Appreciate you hopping on and chatting with us tonight. Hope you have a good night and hope you have a good week. The biggest fish is a 3-foot cat fish. Oh, that's awesome. I definitely haven't bought or caught very many cats. Definitely no big ones like that. I mean, I wouldn't say it was 3 foot. It was probably close to it. Again, it's been 10 years since I've caught it. I posted a picture on my platform, putting a lift on the future son. Future son-in-law. So, how do you feel about this future son-in-law? Like, are you going to, um, do the brakes properly, like you like them, or you don't like them and you're gonna make them a little loose? You know what I mean?
Alright,
The only thing interesting coming up for me is that I'm going to Arizona in 12 days. That's awesome. Arizona, probably kind of warm then. Appreciate it, Walter. Let me see. Did you ask them if they're coming tomorrow? Once a year they have a dirt road bicycle race up in the National Forest Trucking. That ought to be interesting. Going camping by the river with the old lady. That sounds like fun. Just handling water on the road, baby. Okay. I told him about that about his new son-in-law. He's like, oh, his burn up pissed me off.
I told him I need to pull up some clothing for him.
I'll splash them with castor. Now don't go wasting good castor like that. You laugh at that. I got a story for you. Love you. Good night.
money to pull up some clothes for him tomorrow, so.
Hmm.
Is that okay?
There was a, I can't, I want to say his name was Pete. Not 100% sure. And I think it was in Montana. But there was a bait and lure maker that lived there. Uh, that uh, they went searching his property for somebody that had been missing. And he ended up killing himself. So some people are saying that he did do what they were there searching, and they think that some of the person got put in jars, if that makes sense. So, yeah. I don't know all the story, I just know I've heard that from quite a few people, and if you Google it, you can read about it. I have some new bait for next season if he does. Yeah. I'm an HVAC technician and make a pretty good living. I don't have a tape measure at the cat, but it's that's awesome, Cole. Yeah. Say Caster's way too expensive for that. Having a guy's trip next weekend. Awesome, Seymour. Splash them with swamp water. And it's cast lure that I made with the last two beaver I got with spent casting. Scam. That's funny. No, you need to just when they go by, put a stick in the front tire through the spokes. And just be like, hey, that's why you shouldn't ride your bike through the woods. Sounds good, Seymour. I got them, that's for sure. I got to get me some more too.
That's no, it's another 43.
I didn't do nothing. And I'll let you all know if you need any Duke traps. Free shipping over $100, and I can make some pretty good deals on Duke traps. Scam. Yeah. That'd be funny if they start the race or competition, they go right by, they go by one of your traps, and there's a bobcat there that's just jumping at them, going, that would be awesome. Yeah, they have the number 2 Douglas. Duke 550 is what you've been looking at. I can get them. Free shipping, and I can make you a pretty good deal on them. The 550s, I've been doing 160 shipped on the 550s for a dozen. Yeah, they have a number 2 Douglas square jaw. You'd almost be willing to make a set and lose the trap for that, yeah. It'd definitely be funny. Not anything that they would be expecting. Yeah, Seymour, whenever you're ready if to make a pretty good deal on them, just message me on Facebook or something, email me or whatever. If you go to my website, they're full price and the free shipping don't apply on the website. I tried to adjust the pricing on them for the shipping, but it got if somebody's just ordering a dozen traps, it works. But I had people that were ordering, a dozen traps with the discounted price for the, to equal up to the free shipping. But then they would order like, baits and lures and all kinds of other stuff. Well, then it turned out, would end up shipping, you know, 30-pound box for free basically, and I wasn't really making any money once I did that. So I had to quit doing that. So if you want to get the free shipping prices, message me or email me on, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, Instagram, Sportsman's Connection. Just message me anywhere or email me. My email is everywhere. You can get it on the website or literally any social media platform. My email's on my YouTube here. I don't get why you can't send people messages on YouTube. That don't make sense to me. So, Scab, have you caught any more beaver in the last couple days? I know you caught one the other day when you did that live video. Have you caught one since then? I'm really hoping I have a coyote tomorrow on my nuisance job. I do have a setting in the tree stand one day. I would have told him, how come you didn't shoot it? There was one time when me and my brother, we was hunting, and there was like this logging road that goes up this holler. We called it Brody Holler. It was like mine and my brother's favorite place to hunt. Well, we were sitting on the logging road because there was always deer crossing it. Well, we were sitting there one evening, and we see something coming up the road. We're like, what is that? It's small. I'm sure we started looking. Well, it was a bobcat, but it was like mixed with something. I don't know. It was like a calico. It was like black and yellow. But it was a bobcat. It had uh, the back legs were a little taller than the front legs, and it had a bobtail, pointy ears. Like it was a bobcat, but it was black and yellow color instead of like the yellow with black dots. It was like all black with yellow dots, like a calico cat, which was strange. But we were sitting there, and at this point, I was like 7, 8. My brother was like 10. No, we didn't know much. We were like, don't move. Like, that thing will, attack us if we move. So we were just kind of sitting there. Thinking back now, I'm like, we should have just shot it. Yeah, I got a few. One today was a tank, and 2 days ago, got one by a tail and a Duke 550. It's awesome, Scab. Have you caught any in that 850 yet? I think you said you caught that one the other day in the 850, if I remember right. I'm glad you didn't shoot it. You watched me catch ball. That's awesome, Ettercat. Was it in a trap? Dad caught a baby bobcat on the back porch like 2 or 3 years ago. It's awesome. Definitely should have shot it. Yeah, and that's the thing. We was just little kids at that point. We were thinking, if we move, this cat's gonna attack us. That's that was our thought process. And all right, Fisher, no problem. You didn't have the heart to tell dishes went yeah. Who knows? The other one you caught in live was an 850. That's awesome. How was that? Did it have like very strong walk up? I know the 650s. A lot of times when I catch a coyote or whatever, the lockup on it is insane, and I physically cannot pull the levers down. I have to stand on it because they lock up so hard. It's like impossible. Yeah, it was captured. I was gonna say it'd be kind of weird for you to be able to throw a catch ball at a cat that was just standing in the woods. I'm guessing this was public property, public land, water cat. Yeah, I'd say that's 650. Sometimes it's almost like there was a tack weld on the levers. It's like, oh boy, you gotta stand on it and jump on it to get it to break loose, and then you can open it with your hands. That's why I like them though. So the 850, you could probably take the two front coils off. You might break your hand getting them off, but I don't know how well they would fire without the coils. I don't know of anybody that's taken them off, but I don't know why you wouldn't be able to take them off. But I know you probably need to be pretty careful taking them off, though. Probably wouldn't take too much to lose a finger. I know taking the coils off of number 2 Bridger is butt puckery enough. You're good, Seymour. Ain't no problem with that. That's awesome. I was gonna say that kind of my thing is, the Duke 650s, I'm gonna leave them 4-coiled because I love the trap. But like the Bridger number 2s, my thought process, for one, when I got them, the 4-coil was too much. Like it tweaked the trap, and it wouldn't set. So I had to take the 2 front coils off to be able to set the trap. Well, I figured, after a few years when the trap starts getting a little weaker, I'll just put those coils back on. But then again, I'm thinking about trading those traps for something else. It was caught right where he walked in before daylight. I can imagine what that was. Yeah. That's probably why he was sitting in the tree. He probably wasn't even hunting. He probably got scared and just ran straight up the tree and probably had some stuff in his britches that he didn't want to deal with yet, and that's why he was still sitting up there. Indy 550 closed door 4 coil. It's an amazing walkout. No chance I could remove it from the rest of the on target catch. Yeah. And that's my thing, that's why I tell people, that use like those number 4 double long springs. Them things are tough to, set. I couldn't imagine trying to get one off of a non-target, Bobcat or something like that. Like, I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean? At that point, it's almost like, you know what? Just write me a ticket. I would rather you write me a ticket than, get my throat sliced open by this Bobcat trying to get this long spring off of him. And twist levers on the bridges and get him to set flat, yeah. And I try to, but, these Duke 650s I've been using, I've really, really, really begun to like them. But I'm wanting to try some K9 Extremes and Extreme Juniors. So I might see if somebody wants to trade, some of my number 2 Bridgers for them. I think I got 9 modified number 2 Bridgers. I would trade them for, 5 or 6 K9 Extreme Juniors. And I know there's a price difference, but Monster Beaver forgot to follow the script and didn't go down the drama today. That's crazy. Yeah, and that's the thing, I've kind of thought about, if I were to end up trapping beaver right now, I would probably use cable drowners. at this point because uh, I don't really want to build, rebar drowners or something like that if I don't know how often I'm going to be able to trap beaver, if that makes sense. So, like, if I think I'm gonna, be able to trap beaver for a week, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to trap beaver next year, I don't want to go make, 5 or 6 beaver rods and then be sitting everywhere in the way when I, not even gonna be using them. So, I would probably use cable drowners on a center block or something like that. I know some people say center block don't weigh quite enough, so I might go with something else, but I don't know. Going to target cats next year. This was one I say, yeah, I had 9 yet, 6 possibly skinks, I've got it in the bird. Awesome, Seymour. Yeah, I caught a bird. I caught a hawk. It happened. Also caught a calf. That happens. I think number 4 was locked good to the point it was starting to spin his arm off. That's crazy. That's the thing, some of them animals, they get awfully crazy when they get in a trap, and they can really hurt themselves. Got 2 hogs. See, we don't have hogs here. I mean, very rarely do we. I don't haven't seen a wild hog here. We had a picture a couple years ago on trail camera of one. So it's kind of like mountain lions. I have an uncle that's seen the mountain lion. My brother's seen it. We've had a trail camera picture of it. It wasn't a very clear picture, but we know there's at least, well, used to be one on the farm. I don't know what the lifespan of a mountain lion is, but there's we call it the Big Cove, and uh, basically it's almost like a straight drop down, and it's like 150 feet, and there's like bluff rock all the way around it, and once you go up that, this is nothing but field. Well, the mountain lion has been seen up in this field about every time, except for one time. So here's the big cove. Here's the field. Well, back over this way, there's another holler we call Brushy Holler. And there's a big pond that's at the head of this holler. Uh, I consider basically one of my grandpa's. He's seen the mountain lion down there once, and he was going to shoot it. And he said, as soon as I clicked the safety off on my gun, he was gone. He said he must have heard it or something. He said, but I know more than push that button, and he was just gone. He's like, I didn't see him run off or nothing. It was just, he was standing there, and then he was gone. Unless you have rocky bottoms, I would go with rods, especially if there's a lot of snags in the water. Yeah, I don't know. Say, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to get to trap beaver this year. We only have like 2 weeks left. So it'll probably end up being a next year thing unless somebody calls me out of the blue saying, hey, we have beaver problems. Can you come trap them? Because that's, I'm going to kind of get into the nuisance thing. But if that's the case, I don't even know if I would charge for that job because I'm like, hey, here's the deal. I've never trapped beaver. So it's going to be kind of a learning process for me at the same time. So I'll do it for free. Or, I'll do, the first 4 beavers are free. After that, I'm going to charge you. And I believe I'm going to be changing the cost of my nuisance stuff too. because right now I was going to do $30 an animal. Which, for somebody that I know and stuff like that, that's fine. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to up it to 50 an animal. Especially with gas the way it is. Fisher's back. And you didn't change your name. That was one of the issues I had with the 850 set. Use cable in the swamp, so I was clicking the backyard for snails. Yeah, that would suck. And yeah, where I'm at is where the place that I've seen and that I know in my mind, it's a creek that runs pretty well, and there's not a whole lot of snags, if that makes sense. Um, they're pretty clean cut creeks, for the trees that have fallen and stuff. There's those, but for the most part, they're pretty clean. They get flooded a lot, so that just kind of pushes all that stuff out of the way. If you think of a good one, I'm trying to decide on a name for my channel. That's all up to you, man. I'd say with your name, it needs to kind of represent who you are and what all you're gonna do. Like what all kind of content you plan on having. Like, I mean, you wouldn't want to put, like trapping with Fisher or something like that when you plan on having, trapping videos, hunting videos, fishing. If you plan on having all kinds of stuff, then you wouldn't want to put, trapping with Fisher or something like that, because it would be weird, like, if you put trapping with Fisher and you have 3 or 4 fishing videos come out. So it all depends on what you plan on to be doing, and something that also it's kind of got to be something that people can easily remember. Mine's mostly all my social media is business, so it's gonna have my business name because that's kind of what I do it all for. Is my business, so I'm not, trying to create a awesome name. Oh. I used to have a hunting group before, Ozark Trophy Hunters. I know there's a lot of people out there that knows that name. Because I went under that name for a long time, 5, 6 years. Had a pretty good sized Facebook group, Facebook page. Had over 5,000 followers on it. Had a YouTube and stuff like that. So I talk to people a lot at the time. I'm like, yeah, I used to have a group, Ozark Trophy Hunters. They're like, yeah, I've heard of that. I was like, yeah. I said, yeah, that was me. I did that for a while before I switched to the trapping side of it. Now I have I'm gonna kind of get back into the fishing stuff also. I like doing the fishing stuff. I had a lot of good customers from when I had my outdoor store that come and bought fishing stuff from me all the time. Alright, Otter Cat, you have a good night too. Appreciate you hopping on here, chatting with us. So I'll probably be getting off here before too much longer. It's almost 11:30. So I got stuff I gotta get up and do tomorrow. I'm fading fast, yeah. So I'm about to hop off here and go to bed. So it'll be probably a couple hours before I actually fall asleep, but anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, guys. Appreciate everybody hopping on and chatting with me tonight. We'll do more lives. Hopefully, get to do another one this week. Should be able to, maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Depends on what's going on. I'm gonna try to get to start doing them earlier. Maybe being able to go live at like 5 or 6 instead of 9, 10 o'clock all the time. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, thanks for hopping on and chatting with us. Hope you all have a great week. And thank you guys.